Dear students, how are you? I am fine. I hope that all of you are well. Let me introduce myself. I am Yusuf Abdullah Harun, Assistant Teacher, English. Today's class will be commenced on English second paper. This class is only for 9, 10. Welcome to online class. Our today's lesson, transformation of sentence, basic concept, part 2. Already I have taken basic concept part 1. So dear students, if you miss the class, so you can watch the class from YouTube channel. Learning outcomes. At the end of the class, students will be able to realize what is clothes, kinds of clothes, clothes in details, difference between principal clothes and subordinate clothes. Dear student, now I will give you a picture. You have to try to guess what are you observing in this picture. Dear students, try to guess. What are you observing? Yes, this is train. I think you are saying this is train. Actually, this is train. No, this is only an engine. So, I think that this train, this is not train. It is an engine. So, it is useless. Because I cannot carry some goods or load. So I think that it is useless to me. I think you are agree with me. So dear students, let's see another picture. What are you observing in this picture? Yes, this is fully train. Because behind the engine there are some apartments included. So I can easily carry some goods or load. So this is possible. So I think this train is fully active. But this engine is not active. So according to this picture, we can say that if you want to make a cloth, you cannot use only subject. After subject, you have to use finite verb. That you can say that it is clothes. Now dear students, let's start. Now I shall discuss about clothes according to our picture. Already we know that there are two important elements in clothes. Number 1, subject, and number 2, predicate. Already you know that. So dear students, in predicate part, there are some important elements are included. Number one, finite verb. Number two, object. Number three, complement. Number four, adverbial phrase. So dear students, according our picture, you can imagine these things are apartment of a train. And subject, you can imagine it an engine of a train. So you cannot say only using subject, you cannot say or make a clause. You must have to use after subject a finite verb. So subject plus finite verb, that means you can say clause. Now I am sure that you have understood my speech. Dear students, if you want to make any clause, you have to use subject and finite verb. So subject and finite verb, it is common. That means if you want to make a clause, you need subject and finite verb. So this is common, compulsory. But object, complement, adverbial phrase, this is optional. That means sometimes it may be used or not used. I hope you have realized what I said. Dear students, now I am providing you some examples. Dear students, follow. The sun set. What are you observing here? The sun set. Dear students, the sun is subject and set, it is finite verb. So you can say easily that this is closed because you have gotten subject and finite verb. Already I have told you subject and finite verb is common. That means compulsory. Now let's go next example. She is eating an apple. So dear students, try to find out which things has been used after predicate. That means in predicate part. Already you know that she subject, is eating an apple. This is predicate part. In predicate parts, there are some element included. Already I have told it. Object, complement, adverbial phrase. So which thing is included here? Dear students, try to realize. Is eating, this is finite verb, and apple, this is object. So I have found object. So dear students, I'm sure you have realized what I said. That means already I have found object, an apple. She, subject, is eating, finite verb. Subject plus finite verb, this is common for making a cloth. But an apple, this is not common. Sometimes it can use or not use. Next example. She is a university student. She, subject, is a university student. It is predicate part. Is finite verb. So subject plus verb, it is common, compulsory. But what are you observing in predicate part? Which elements are included here? Dear students, mind it deeply what it says. This is predicate part. So in this predicate part, I am observing a university student. This is complement. Complement. So what is complement? Complement means you can extra information from subject. That means a university student. Who is a university student? I get the answer, she. That means subject, she. That means she, a university student. There is a relation between subject and a complement. So it is complement. There are two types of complement. Dear students, listen what I say and try to realize. There are two types of complement. Number one, subject complement and object complement. So this is subject complement because I have gotten some information about subject. Dear students, I will discuss about object complement later on. Now, mind it deeply. Already you know that what is subject complement. That means when you will get some extra information about subject, so it will be complement. That means subject complement. So this in this example, he is a university student. A university student is a complement about subject. So already I have got it, complement. I hope that you have understood. Now white the board. Next example. We found him chairman. So dear students, this part is predicate. Already you know that. That means from verb. From verb till last part, it is called predicate. Already you know that. In previous class, I have discussed it. So dear students, this is subject and this is finite verb, found. So it is compulsory or it is common for making a clause. But which elements are included in predicate part? I found him. That means object. I found chairman. This is complement. Dear students, try to understand what I say. Him, object, and chairman, complement. So dear students, now try to realize again what I say. Him, that means chairman. There is a relation with him. We found him chairman. Him and chairman there is a relation between him and chairman. Him is object. Him here is object. So when you will find extra information about object, then you can say that complement. That means you can say it is object complement. In previous chapter, I have told you there are two types of complement: subject complement and object complement. So dear students, this is object complement because chairman and him, between them a relation. So I can say that it is object complement. Now dear students, it is clear to you about complement. There are two types of complement: subject complement and object complement. This is subject complement and this is object complement because already you know that. So dear students, in predicate part there are some elements may include. Number one, object. Sometimes you can find complement or sometimes you can find adverbial phrase. Let's see another example. They are talking in the room. Dear students, they, subject, are talking in the room, predicate, are talking, finite verb. In the room, it is adverbial phrase. So dear students, in predicate part, already I have gotten an element, that means adverbial phrase. Sometimes you can find three items: object, complement, adverbial phrase. Or you can find two elements or one element. So already you have realized about clause. In predicate part, which elements can include, already we have known it. Now I am writing the word. Next, Already I have given you some example, so we have to try to find out in predicate part which elements are included. So dear students, try to understand and think it deeply according to my lecture. Number 1, the water fruit. So try to guess. Okay, dear students, in this cloth I found subject and finite verb. The water, subject, plus verb. So this is clothes. Number 2, subject they are playing, finite verb, football, object. Number 3, he, subject, seems, finite verb, interesting. What? Try to guess, dear students. What? Interesting? Yes, it is compliment. No, no say. Interesting is object because there is a relation between he and interesting. Who is interesting? He. He what? He interesting. That means I have gotten extra information from subject. So when you will get extra information from subject, then you can say that it is complement of subject. Okay. Next example. We found him interesting. Dear students, we, subject, found finite verb, him, object, interesting, complement. Dear students, can you say what type of complement is it? Yes, it is objective complement because him and interesting, there is a relation between them. We found him interesting. Interesting and him, there is a relation. So you have gotten extra information from object. So you can say easily this is object complement. Already you know that there are two types of complement, subject complement and object complement. So in this predicate part, we have found some element, that means complement. Okay, dear students. Next example. She, subject, sang, finite verb, a song, object, very well, adverbial phrase. So in this sentence already I have gotten two elements, object and adverbial phrase. Next example. They elected him chairman last week. They, subject, elected, verb, finite verb, him, object, chairman, compliment, last week, adverbial phrase. So dear students, in this sentence, I have gotten three elements in predicate part. This is predicate part. In this predicate part, I have gotten element, object, complement, adverbial phrase. Now dear students, you have understood how will you find in predicate part this element. So now I hope that it is clear to you. Now I am writing the word. Next part. Types of clothes. Dear students, there are two types of clothes. Number one, principal clothes. Number two, subordinate clothes. Principal clothes. You can say independent clothes. You can say main clothes. So different names. It's up to you which name will you use. It's up to you fully. You can say principal clothes. You can say independent clothes. You can say main clothes. You can say subordinate clothes. You can say dependent clothes. Dear students, now I shall give you some example. Try to understand what I say. Dear students, Rohim knows that I am his friend. There are two parts in this sentence. So you have to try to understand which one is principal clause and which one is subordinate clause. Rohim knows. This is principal clause, PC. Or you can say independent clause, or you can say main clause. But that I am his friend, it is called subordinate clause or dependent clause because its meaning is not clear to you, that I am his friend. So it is fully dependent on this sentence. Rohim knows. So dependent clause always depend on principal clause or main clause or independent clause. So dear students, I hope that you have realized my speech. Next example. I know what he means. In this sentence, I know principal clause, what he means subordinate clause. Because what he means, its meaning is not clear to me. So it is dependent clause, you can say, because it is depend on this main clause I know. So dear students, already you have understood what I said. Dear students, next example. I do not know how it is possible. There are two parts. I do not know, one part, and next part, how it is possible. But dear students, try to guess which one is main clause. and which one is subordinate clause? Dear students, I do not know this is main clause. How it is possible? This is subordinate clause because this sentence meaning is not clear to us. So it is fully depend on this sentence. So dear students, subordinate clause always depend on main clause, but main clause do not depend on subordinate clause. Already, I think that you have understood my speech clearly. Now, dear students, if you want to realize about subordinate clause, you must have to know subordinate conjunction. Now I am providing you some list of subordinate conjunction. Dear students, what, who, which, when, how, whose, where, why, whom, that, if, since, because, for, before, after, till, until, unless, though, although, so, as, while. They are called subordinate conjunction. So, dear students, you have to memorize this conjunction for finding subordinate clause. Now, dear students, I have provided you some example. It is your home task, and you will try to find out subordinate clause. For better understand, I am doing number 1, and rest of them will be your home tasks. Dear students, listen and mind it deeply what I say. I told her this is principal clause, that she was wrong. This line is subordinate clause because I have gotten subordinate conjunction already. That. So dear students, already I think that you have some idea about subordinate clause. So dear students, the rest of them will be your home tasks. Now I am writing the board. To be continued our class. So dear students, no more today. I pray for you, and you will also pray for me. Always try to keep home and try to stay safe. Goodbye.